It's not much heard these days, is it? But it used to be all the rage in the 1930s. That's when the characters in our next film got together. Last year, the Edinburgh Harmonica Band celebrated 50 years of making music. We joined them for a recent charity performance.
The band was formed in 1936, at a time when the harmonica was one of the most popular musical instruments in the country. Jim Anderson was one of the founder members.
Well, first competition, the judges in Glasgow said, this band looks more like a symphony orchestra. There's loads of accordions, drums, violins and everything. But the harmonica stood well to the fore, and that's been our system all along. The harmonicas keep to the fore.
In the late 30s, there were nearly 700 harmonica bands throughout Britain. In Scotland, the Edinburgh Harmonica Band were named national champions in both 1938 and 39. The competitions were sponsored by the German harmonica makers Hohner, but with the outbreak of war, the competitions ended. Hohner instruments became difficult to obtain, and the band had to discover other sources of supply.
Some young men that was called up managed to change harmonicas from the German prisoners of war for cigarettes, and they brought them back to us.
And in the front lines too, during a lull in hostilities, the pocket harmonica became the soldier's companion.
You know, it was a morale booster, great morale booster. And even going back as far as the First War, my dad used to often comment on it. He says it used to be a very welcome sound, he says, when you were lying in some kind of foxhole, he says, and somebody got out a mouth and they started to play Keep the Home Fires Burning.
Over the years, the band have performed nearly 1,500 concerts, and they attribute their continued existence more to enthusiasm than to any formal musical training.
Most of us are not professional musicians, or maybe we might be more at a busker level, but we have some very good musicians in the band that have played professional in their younger days.
I mean, when we're at rehearsals, the band's rubbish. You know, it's actually rubbish. But see, when we have a concert, it just, everything goes into place.
For many members, the joy of playing the harmonica began in childhood. But it was only after early retirement through arthritis that Davy Robertson joined the band. For him, it has become a lifeline and a source of humour.
There's 2 or 3 jokers in the band, and you got them with your mouth organs down in the keys. And when you go away, they change the keys. They change the mouth, and we pick it up to start playing, and my God, I'm in the wrong key, you know. But they're just jokers. But like Baldwin Toole, I was telling you, he gets up to these things.
Some members have joined the band for companionship, as Jim Reed did after his wife died. But he also brought with him a considerable range of musical skills.
The mandolin came in handy when I damaged my shoulder and could no longer operate the violin. The mandolin is the same finger and the same tuning. The only difference is you have to use a plectrum instead of a bow, which takes a bit of practice. But I take that to the band also and double up between harmonica, mandolin, and if the pianist's ill, I can take over the piano. And if the conductor's ill, I'll take the baton and conduct the band as well. So I'm quite a useful member to the orchestra, you know.
One night at Simon Square, we played to wheelchair people, you know. And we had finished playing and quite enjoyed it, you see. And one old lady, she's sitting in a chair, she says, "Could you play Babyface? Could the band play Babyface?" I said, "Oh, hi, we can play Babyface." So we played Babyface. And there's another old lady coming to go in the band, so she was coming out, she went up, she says, "Could you play Abide With Me before you go?" Now, that's how it goes at the finish of a show. You're always getting requests, further requests. And if you kept doing that, you'd be there till 11 o'clock at night. So there must be satisfaction in the audience. And when you look at them, as the night goes on, they're all quite uplifted.
With 50 years and hundreds of concerts to their credit, it's to be hoped that the band will celebrate a century of entertainment, and that the sophistication of modern music will not silence the quietly evocative sound of the harmonica.